Dear guests, I would like to welcome you here in our exhibition space of the Austrian Cultural Forum. The name of the exhibition tonight is Friktion, and we present two artists, one Austrian artist, Martin C. Herbst, and a Hungarian artist, Herman Levente. Curator of this exhibition is Richárd Kosinsky. I will afterwards give the word to him. Today, only a limited number of people can participate at this opening, but we also have a live stream, and I would also like to welcome all the guests who follow at the moment our live stream. I would also like to thank VÁRFOK Galerie from Budapest. They also supported this exhibition, and I would also like to thank Mate Orr and my colleague Fabian Wörös from the Austrian Cultural Forum. Unfortunately, the two artists cannot be with us tonight. They could not come to Budapest, but before this exhibition, we organized video talks with them, so you can also see them on the internet and also here in our exhibition space. The Austrian Cultural Forum is open, and we are very happy if you come and visit this exhibition. We also published a catalog. This you can also see online and also here at our space. And now I would like to give the word to a very important person. This is the curator of the exhibition, Richárd Kosinsky, and he will inform you about the idea and the concept of this exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome to this very unusual opening. It is unusual in more than one way, and I think we could all agree that this is uncomfortable as well. Outside it is getting blurry and cold, unwelcoming, where we are here, standing around in mass, trying to find our place by trying not to get in too close to one another, exchanging awkward glances with semi-strangers. All these create a kind of tension, not unlike the artworks themselves and the whole of the exhibition. There are two paintings which I would like to highlight. The two joint works by Martin C. Herbst and Levente Herman, with Watteau's ominous figure, Gilles. This sad yet familiar clown embodies the aforementioned tension, and it is a bit too easy to identify oneself with it. He's out of place, lost even, hopelessly looking for something or some place where he can fit in, strolling and standing about in the foggy landscapes. Like the original Gilles, this one is dropped onto the alien stages to work out his own meaning of the unfolding scenes, not unlike us, the beholder. Portraits and tradition, landscapes and tradition, two genres historically defined by connotations acquired and stuck. Both are means of representation in the sense that they are making their subject to be present. In the case of the two exhibiting artists, this is true on multiple levels. Martin C. Herbst's primary point of reference in his art is the painterly tradition, which reflects on his own paraphrases, not unlike his works do, because in the reflective surfaces that also define his whole work, the beholder's point of view is distorted or multiplied. The artworks exist in a constant transition which does not offer a resting point. In the permutations, the possibilities of recognition alternate with complete concealment. The unrealistic palpability of Herbst's paintings is an illusion, in which his peculiar motif, evocation, and suggestive portraits may have a familiar effect, recalling the traits of someone whose name one just cannot quite recall. But Herbst's Baroque and Manierist motifs are more than mere evocations of the past. The mirror surfaces are also self-reflections, and through this cognition itself comes into doubt. The tradition, with all its connotations, is questioned. His portraits feed back to the beholder, keeping the viewer in constant motion physically, mentally, and in the process of cognition. In Levente Herman's painting, human presence can only be felt through its signs and traces left behind, but it is still unavoidable. Herman's landscape suggests the character's presence in a constant present tense in an infinitely irksome way. and the lack of a human presence only magnifies the threatening melancholy of the landscapes. The passivity of the landscapes, the lack of directing elements that control the gaze of the beholder creates a feeling of stillness and a sense of timelessness. Therefore, Herman's paintings are endless. Human constructions have stood in the landscapes with obvious robustness and will always stand where the viewer has stumbled upon them. It is precisely this apparent calm under the surface that causes tension. The mushroom cloud of the atomic bomb, the mere existence of the building suggests that something has happened. Timelessness is thus confronted with the passage of time. The opposite logic of the portraits and landscapes of the exhibition are in friction. While the surface of Herbst's works put the beholder in motion, Herman's paintings freezes them. The reflective surface of the portraits guides the viewer, places them relative to itself, and provides support for the cognition with elements borrowed from the artistic tradition. Herbst makes repoussoir, the logic of Baroque painting too, the central element of his painting, which is consciously animated from Herman's landscapes. In Herman's paintings, the landscapes, with its unequivocalness and simplicity, does not mark a point of view, an elevated outlook or relationship. It shows itself in absolute and meets the viewer. The presence or absence of an element that guides the gaze and thus positions the beholder fundamentally determines the orientation of the reception. While portraits face the viewer, landscapes incorporate them. In this way, the exhibition creates a space of interpretation that focuses on the recipient and the possibilities of beholder. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Dear Martin, I'm happy that we can present your works here in Budapest in our space, together with the Hungarian painter Herman Levente. The name of this exhibition is Friktion, and we show portraits, landscapes combined with tradition. And my first question would be, first of all, maybe you can introduce yourself shortly to the audience. And then I also want to ask you, what was the idea behind this exhibition?
Yeah, hello, Regina, and greetings to Budapest. My name is Martin C. Herbst. I'm an Austrian painter, and we're in my studio here in Vienna in front of one of the paintings, which will be picked up on Friday to go to Hungary to be included in the show. So thanks to you, I was invited to show in the Kulturforum. We met each other during a show in the VÁRFOK Gallery in Budapest, which brings me to the connection, what I have with Hungary. I'm showing for almost 15 years now in Budapest, in Hungary, my works. I'm very happy that I can present that many works over such a long period regularly to the very close country, which is not only close geographically, but also to the heart of the Austrians. The idea of the exhibition, so when you approached me to make a show, I thought it would be a really nice idea to share this opportunity with an Hungarian artist, with Levente Herman. I came in touch with his work in the VÁRFOK Gallery and I was really touched by his wonderful landscape paintings. And I always thought these are type of portraits of landscapes, and I'm a portrait artist. So to say, my whole work is circled around faces, around portraits of known and lesser known or unknown people. And that's why I thought it's a nice idea to invite him to join and to make a sort of a show which is not only about one type of work, but to have a nice contrast. Landscapes paintings and portraits painting, not only by the genre, by the type of, not only by the subject, but also by the different personalities. That's why I love the title, which the curator of the show, Richárd, invented, Friktion, because it's a very speaking and very informing title, because it's all about not only the friction inside the work of both of us, of Levente and me, but also the friction between the type of works you will see in the show. my portraits should not be real portraits of a specific person, although they are often very, very similar to the appearing of the portrait person, because they should be more a container for the ideas of the viewer, for instance, of you. So you approach a painting which shows a face, and the face should not be that specific that you just can decide, okay, this is interesting for me or not, because I like the person, the face of the person or not. But you should have a sort of triggering information that leads you to the point that you want to get in connection with this person, with this painting, and so that you can mirror yourself in it. So it's not about the person which is depicted, but it's all about you, the viewer. I want to make a communication. And so the faces are more or less a sort of echo chamber. You speak to it. So first of all, they speak to you, but just they trigger the conversation. Then you have to start the conversation, and you lie everything what you think about, thoughts, feelings, whatever, in that person. And that's why I think it's still interesting to make portraits, because this genre is outdated. Every photography can do what former painters of the past could do that brilliantly, like depicting the features of each face to make similarity to the reality and all that. That's not important. Also, you could recognize specific persons. For instance, this in the back is my daughter with 6 years when she made her makeup for the kindergarten. I really like this nice, already female features in the child. And that's why I'm using this image in many of my paintings. But it's not about my daughter. It's about what you see in my daughter, so to say. It's all about communication, and that's why always the look in the eyes is very important for me. So because that's the most information coming out. It's the same than in reality. I don't make really a difference between reality and art or painting. It's the same reality, more or less. You encounter somebody painted, so to say, or in reality, but the same communication should start without words. This is one of my specifics, that I always try to include up-to-date materials like polished stainless steel, mirrored aluminum, or mirrored plexiglass. Even in the back, the dish, actually this is a dish, a concave dish, is done by plexiglass. So this is all about the idea to bring my paintings to the 21st century, of course, from the material side here, and to give me more possibilities than I would have if I use just canvas, for instance. To go back to this concave mirror dish, if I will try to demonstrate this, because the viewer is not stable in front of the painting, of course, and that causes then really interesting effects, because the back is mirrored, of course, and makes a sort of moving image. And this brings the viewer to the perception that the painted figure is animated itself, because our brain is constructed like this, that usually if something moves, the other part of the image is not all that stable, should be moving as well, because we perceive our world as a moving image. And that is not a sort of fashionable trick that I make a mirrored background, but it's a tool to animate, to bring the painting alive, the figure alive. And that's all about, it's all about, as I said, communication, and all about vividness and presence. And you will see in that show, in the Kulturforum, many different works of mine, because I had the concept to make a show each of one kind. So you will see one mirror dish. Let me demonstrate. You will see one mirrored sphere. One side is the mirror polished stainless steel. The other side is a face on a sphere, which is, again, a very interesting idea from expanding painting to the three-dimensional world, so to say. And what's very, sorry, I have to put this down. What's very important, we will show a joint painting of Levente and me as well, but I will show the concept and idea of this combined painting in a different video. So that's all what I have to say for the moment. And please perceive all the interesting features and effects by yourself in the show, because it's all about you. You have to bring the paintings alive by attending, by visiting, by seeing, by perceiving it in the right way.
Hi, Levente. Thank you for having the time, taking the time to make this interview. First of all, please introduce yourself. You're a painter, of course. You're one of the artists of this exhibition entitled Friktion. Please tell us about yourself in a few words.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Herman Levente. I was born in 1976 in Târgu Mureș, Romania. I was living since 25 years in Budapest, but now since 2 years I came back to my country in Transylvania, so I'm living in working here.
So, as I understand, you have a gallery here in Budapest, so you're exhibiting regularly here in Budapest as well, always working on a complete series. So you're not working on one work at a time, but you're thinking in a bigger scale, so to speak. For this exhibition, did you create a new series or you're continuing a previous one?
I was creating a new series for this. Since 2 years I was collecting photos, making photos in countryside, especially in mountains in Transylvania. So I was actually working with those photos, using them like backgrounds.
Okay. As I interpret your paintings, I really much love how you work, how you translate these landscapes. Why the landscapes? You never paint. Well, this is an exaggeration. Of course, you paint. Sometimes there are some figures, or in your previous works there were some human figures or portraits even in your painting. But now it's purely landscape or urban landscapes. Why is this in your focus?
I was growing up here, and since more than 20 years, going outside with my parents, with tents in the mountains every year, at least 1 month. Mm-hmm. So living in Budapest, I could not afford to travel many times. So I love the mountains. So while I'm at home, I'm traveling all the time in the mountains. So I was trying to work with this kind of thing, which is meaningful very much for me. Mm-hmm. Without people, the silence, and the beauty of the nature, actually.
And how do you correlate this? Well, let's put it in another way. How did you meet with Martin, and how did the idea of this exhibition come up? This group exhibition.
I'm very glad to meet. I was very glad to meet him. I met him in VÁRFOK Gallery. We both working with this gallery. So mm-hmm. We meet, I think, only 3 times. I was going to see him exhibitions, and I'm liking his works very, very much. So in this way, we were figuring out to have a common exhibition, and let's see how it's working.
As I see how you and Martin approach painting is a very different kind of attitude to painting. He, of course, paints portraits exclusively almost, and you paint landscapes. So it's a very interesting contrast between the two, and I'm very interested how it will play out in the exhibition. So as I understand, there will be two artworks in this exhibition that is a joint work, actually. Both of you worked on the same painting. You painted one and sent it to Vienna, to Martin, and he painted also something. Let's not uncover the surprise yet. A figure that he sent to you, and you will paint something behind it or on it. How do you see this joint work? What do you think about it?
That's a very, very interesting thing, because I never made this before. Yes, I was painting a kind of background for him while he's working with figures, so then he can paint or put a figure on of the canvas. And then I got a very nice painting from him. It's a painting made by Friktion. This is exhibited in Louvre in Paris.
Yes.
So I was painting a background behind this painting. I hope that I can send you a photo today to him and to you as well.
We'll see it on the exhibition surely. And did you discuss what will be the common motif of this painting, or it was just I will paint this, you will paint whatever you want, and we'll see what I get. So did you discuss it beforehand? Did you know that Martin will use Watteau's painting, or it just happened as it happened? Did you discuss it
we were
beforehand?
not discussing about this, so I was very curious what I had to work with, and this is very interesting. We didn't discuss everything about it. It was a free-way for both of us.
So it was a surprise. The figure that Martin chose in the end, Watteau's Gilles, is a very interesting figure, of course, and it is a very interesting figure in the aspect of this exhibition as well. So I think it will very much reflect on the eeriness, the awkwardness, or the fogginess. I don't know how to put it. The mysteriousness of your landscapes and the portraits of Martin. So I'm very, very interested to see how it will look together. Okay. Unfortunately, neither of you can come to the exhibition opening. Of course, we all know why. But thank you for your time. Thank you for explaining a few things. And we'll see the exhibition in the flesh later on. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.